At the beginning of the movie, it is said that all the plants on Earth have been removed, and thereby all natural oxygen was removed. They were all dying from lack of oxygen. Earth life has died out. In the middle of it all, only one Australian city remained. They were using supplemental oxygen. Because of this oxygen, a dangerous disease attacked people. Then the main character of the movie, Ethan, is shown, whose wife is also afflicted with the disease. Ethan tried to give his wife the best oxygen possible. Now at this time they have to pay for oxygen. People who survive thanks to a special corporation. That company makes synthetic oxygen. We then see Ethan being called into the office by Regina. Regina was the CEO of an oxygen company and a researcher. After calling him, she tells Ethan if the disease is going to spread around the world like this, the world will soon be destroyed. He says, "You are the only one who can save the world." Ethan is confused by Regina's conversation. Regina transports Ethan to the lab. Ethan was accompanied by a friend, and when they move to the lab, they discover a time machine. This time machine was built by Ethan's father, according to what he was told. Regina claims that only you are capable of controlling this machine. You hold a piece of this machine, in the shape of the watch your father gave you. Ethan remembers his father giving him the watch when he heard about it. His hand bled a lot in childhood. The watch is in his hand. Ethan doesn't know anything about this watch before. Ethan is told that the message is received through the time machine. This message is from the future. The message takes you 400 years into the future. The doctor in the lab also tells Ethan, "We find that the world will look the same in 400 years. It means that there are plants and oxygen and that the climate is also normal. The environment there is also suitable for human life. They say you have to go there according to your father's experiment and bring all plants and oxygen here. You will collect oxygen and future plants will be sent back in time. With him, we stabilize life here again." Ethan felt like everyone was playing a game with him. In reality, Ethan doesn't want to go if such a situation arises. His wife was therefore ill, but the scientists feel that if Ethan goes to the future, they will make the world right. We then see Ethan with his friend Jude, who is pushing him to go. Ethan refuses to go because he cannot imitate his father who left his wife and son for his project. Jude took care of Ethan like an older brother after Ethan's mother died. Ethan doesn't want to leave his wife like his father did. Jude lets him know that your wife is sick, and that's the only way to get her to bring plants from the future. With him, the environment and your wife will be fine. Reaching home when Ethan shares it with his wife, he also insists on going to the future. She doesn't want Ethan to go to the future either, but he wants to do it for everyone. After much thought, Ethan sets out to see Regina the next morning. He says, "I'm ready to go, but on one condition, that if you find a cure first, you will make my wife well." Regina agrees. After that, there were plans to send Ethan to the future. At the lab, Ethan was given a suit to wear before entering the machine. After all, when Ethan asks what their next plan is, they have none. Didn't they know who would meet Ethan in the future or how he would return? He doesn't even believe that Ethan will bring the plants or not. But now Ethan must go. After her, Ethan received a device that connects him to the past. Finally, Ethan sits in the machine. The machine turns on after setting the time. Flashes of radio waves echoed through the lab as the machine powered up. Inside the machine, Ethan moved quickly. He fell into an unknown forest through the sky. Ethan's suit catches fire when moving quickly in the air. He immediately takes off his suit. He then sees around him and notices that the world is the same as before. Now Ethan was enjoying nature's beauty and oxygen. He walks forward and notices a skeleton. He had a bullet mark on his head. After reading the name from that skeleton's clothes, he gets worried, because it was his skeleton. And Ethan also finds a device, the same device the scientists gave him. When Ethan saw this, he got scared and didn't understand anything. The skeleton also had the same watch as Ethan. There was a difference between the light. Ethan's watch shows a red light while the skeleton's watch shows a green light. He had witnessed this since childhood. This thing confused him. Then the night appears. To spend the night, Ethan lit a fire and used some berries as food. Due to the ingestion of the poisonous berries, Ethan's condition worsens and he passes out. Ethan's condition was known through this device in the lab. Ethan wakes up. His friend Jude is with him. Jude was sent back in time to save Ethan, so he completes his mission. After some time, Ethan and Jude notice a door. Now the skeleton of Ethan that was shown before was now in front of this door. We can speculate that there must have been some changes in the past. Meanwhile, the scanner is coming out of there. The door to that place will open when Ethan's eye is scanned. When they go inside, they find it's the lab they started from. Jude is excited to see all this. The time machine was ahead of them, from which they can return to the past again. He discovers a timer on the time machine. They learn that this lab will be destroyed after 4 hours of inactivity. This system was created so that no one could abuse it. Ethan opens the hologram where his father told the details of this project. Now he must do his task in haste. That is, it must return after collecting oxygen and plants. But when he sees that the oxygen scavenger is showing a problem, or disturbing, he must repair the machine and return within 4 hours. They have a short time. When they go outside, they find the entire town covered in plants and human skeletons everywhere, of which they appear after the extinction of humans. This city turned into plants. It means that the environment of the city changed after the extinction of man. Ethan goes to his future home and becomes emotional when he sees his wife's skeleton. Ethan turns on the recording of the future device. Here he finds out that Jude is going to shoot him, and Jude also hears it. He pulls out a gun to shoot. Ethan somehow stops Jude and decides to fix the machine before dying. They come back to the lab with only 37 minutes left. Outside the lab, Ethan goes to see his skeleton. That his future has changed or not since he stopped Jude. He notices that his skeleton is the same and is in the same place. He discovers that his future has not yet changed. He wants to know the future. He puts the battery from his device into the future device. He sees the video of Jude killing him. Jude sees this and realizes that our chances of survival are diminishing. And if we fix the oxygen scavenger, we will waste a lot of time. We should leave before we sit in the time machine. Ethan locks him in a room without listening to him, turns on the recorded hologram coming into the lab. This hologram of the day his father died. On the hologram, Ethan sees that his father, he wants to use his time machine and invention to protect humanity. But Regina wants to use it for her tasks. To thwart Regina's plans, Ethan's father links the machine to Ethan's DNA. This is the reason for the blood when he wears the watch. But Regina will not accept defeat. She killed Ethan's parents with Jude, so he will use Ethan for his purpose in the future. Ethan is disturbed after seeing all this. The one he considers his brother killed his parents. This is where Ethan shows he's been thinking. His father had been wrong for many years. Based on Jude's words, Ethan will not replace Regina in her intentions. He was on the verge of destroying the time machine. Jude comes and stops him. She informs him that Regina sent me so that when Ethan fixes the defect, he will kill him. Jude also considers Ethan his brother. That's why he shoots himself before killing Ethan. Now Ethan worked to complete his father's plan. Hastily repairs the oxygen scavenger. He collects all the blueprints and sends them to the past after placing them. Ethan sent evidence of his father's murder and Regina's plan with them. But he didn't go in the past, which is why Regina's plan failed. Regina was arrested. Ethan sent a flower for his wife in the past. He destroys the time machine in the future so no one can use it. When Ethan leaves the lab, he discovers no skeleton. As a result, he realizes that the past has changed. This wise decision of his saved all mankind. This movie ends with a future green scene. Thanks for watching the video.